Hi, how are you doing? Today I am doing let me see, the end of November reading, the last 2 weeks of November from the 16th to the 30th for the zodiac sign of Capricorn. Okay. I have a few disclaimers I need to get out of the way. One is I have decks that have full frontal nudity. There's no sexual connotation to them, but if you are under 18, you need to veer left. This is not the place for you, and I don't do readings for anybody under the age of 18 to begin with. So I would prefer you not to be lurking about on my site. I don't think I do swear in my videos, but on the off chance that I might, if that offends you, and that once in a million chance makes you want to go somewhere else or not be on this site, then at least you know that there is a chance of that happening. It's a very minuscule chance, but it could happen. Okay, let me see what else. If you like the videos, please hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons. These do help the channel grow astronomically. You have no idea how much that helps. So tonight, like I said, I'm doing a reading for the zodiac sign of Capricorn for November 16th through the 30th. Okay, and my first cards I'm going to pull from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. I use these cards for their own meanings, which the first card out of the block is Eagle Spirit, and it says, Spirit has your back. Alright, Capricorn. Alright, because they have their own messages, but what they do for me is they not only bring their own message, but they give me a reference point, and they also exemplify during the tarot readings messages that they're trying to enhance. Does that make sense? But they're inherent in their own right. Okay, the first card, and this is from the Angels and Ancestors deck, Oracle. It's a lady, and it says, enjoy growth and reap rewards. This is kind of like the Empress deck. Empress deck. The Empress card in let's say a Rider-Waite deck. Alright, it's very similar. It's growth, abundance, that kind of thing, nurturing. If you're not trying to have children, be very careful in this time, because when it's talking about fertility, that's part of it. Okay. And, Capricorn. Star ancestor. And it's telling you to follow the voice of your soul. So there's something that you want to do, or you've been thinking about doing, and you have not, or are you just in the tentative steps of starting this, okay? Now, I do a 5-card, well, I'm not going to call it a 5-card spread anymore. I'm going to do a 5 position spread, because I've gotten 10 cards out of a 5-card spread. So, the first card is supposed to be the past. The second card is supposed to be the present. Then the third is future. Fourth is advice from spirit. The fifth is the most probable outcome if you take spirit's advice. And right now, the past. The past is the Queen of Cauldrons. That's in this deck. That would be the Queen of Cups in a normal deck. So you have been loving. Notice how she has one foot. She's balanced. She has one foot on the water. She has one foot on land. She is looking lovingly at that cup. Okay. And that looks like the past. That could be you or someone else. Okay, the present. The present is, well, it's the Seven of Shields. This is somebody tending, in other decks, this is called the Pentacle. So in this deck, it's called the Seven of Shields. And it's set up like options, but these, they technically are. It's the Seven of, they're I don't know how to explain it. They're tending one pentacle. They're actually trying to manifest something here, or someone actually. As legend goes, those two are actually trying to, yeah, manifest someone. If you look at the signs in the background, every one of those pentacles has, let me get closer so that you can see, there's ancestors behind them, okay? So it depends on which pentacles that you need to tend. You know, like that could be that little rose bush over there in the corner that just doesn't get enough sunlight, and you're just trying to fertilize it, keep it watered, and baby it along until it gets old enough to thrive on its own. There is something that you are tending to. The other card that came out in this position was the Leap of Faith. This is the Fool card. This is the beginning of the journey. So it's almost as if you want to take a leap of faith, but you know it's not time yet because you're having to tend this pentacle. When the pentacle is full, when it's ready, it's like it's like fruit. You know, you're not going to pick a tomato when it's this small and green. I don't want to hear about fried green tomatoes because I live in the South and I love fried green tomatoes, by the way. But you're still not going to take it when it's the size of a quarter, okay? And pluck it. You're going to let it grow. You're going to fertilize it. You're going to water it. You're going to make sure it gets sun. You're going to tend to it, okay? So it's kind of newish to you, or it's just not quite ready. It's not ready. But you are ready to take that leap of faith for whatever this is. And I'm going with love, since in the past you were the Queen of Cauldrons. Spirit, help guide my hands. And the reason you're probably tending to that is there's a lot of conflict. This could be internal conflict, but there's a lot of conflict around this. So let's see what advice from Spirit is. Spirit, please give me some advice on the Capricorn. Please give me advice on Capricorn. Okay. So your advice from Spirit is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands doesn't actually come rushing in, but they are full of fire and they are full of creativity. If I mean, there is a volcano behind them. I mean, they ride dragons, so they might have a little bit of power. These are typically fire signs, and it speaks of communication. Knights are communication. Knights are also people that take up a challenge. They are people that take up a cause. So you might be fighting for something. It may be telling you to fight for something or someone. That pentacle might be someone. Okay. And the advice, I mean the probable outcome if you follow Spirit's advice. Boy, I'm having trouble stuffing with the cards tonight. So, okay. And this is the Eight of Coins. So, it'll progress into the Eight of Coins. But the Eight of Coins is showing hard work, but it's not just showing hard work. There's a family there, so that's a man, a woman, a child, and it's as if they're out building their own empire, their own stability, their own, and obviously they've done quite well because there's a lot of pentacles hanging on the outside of that boat. 8, as a matter of fact. You know, they're working on it. They're mastering their craft and working hard while they're doing other things because, you know, we wouldn't normally forge pentacles in a boat. That would be kind of counterintuitive, fire and water. So I feel like while they fish or do whatever they do out there, he is also maybe fine tuning little parts where the liquid didn't settle in right and it needs to be filed down, something like that. He does that while he's waiting for the fish to fill in the nets, and he's building something. He's building, and the main idea behind that is work. Okay, so okay, let's clarify some of these because this is kind of a confusing reading, but I don't think so much because with this card, the 8, I see follow the voice of your soul. So I feel like he's having to work for a living, but he's also working on in his spare time, even at work. He's also working on whatever it is he does. Okay, like let's say he pours pentacles and of gold, and he has to fine tune them, but he has to go fishing because you know they'll starve without it. So I feel like he does that while he's out there. You know, you got to wait for the fish to bite. You know, might as well keep your hands busy. Devil's workshop and all that. Okay. Then we have enjoy growth and rewards. And I think that's showing it. I mean, he went from conflict to he already has pentacles. He's waiting for and behind him the ships are coming in. If you can see back on the horizon, these ships are coming in. Okay. And that's the 3 of Wands, and I think that's the beginning of it, you know. And I think that he knows Spirit has his back. Okay, because that's why he's ready to take a leap of faith. So let's start getting some clarifiers here. The Queen of Cauldrons. This was love. And that love is going to turn into the 10 of Pentacles. Sorry. It's been a rough day. So the Queen is turning into the 10, or is being clarified by the 10 of Pentacles. So this is somebody who's loving, caring, and giving. And I feel like she's gotten away from a toxic environment. Whoever this was her devil. She broke the chains. She took the chains off. It was more than passion. It was the devil. And he was consuming all her energy. He, she, take it as it stands. It's not a it's the power of the card. And so because she's female, he's male. That's the only thing. It doesn't matter. You can be 2 males, 2 females. I don't care. It's the energy. But I feel like she slipped the bonds and said, I've had enough. You're toxic. I've got to go. I have to build my own empire, especially if you're not going to build it with me. I'm going to build it myself. And so she did. She had that and she left the devil. And then somebody was manifesting something. Possibly you. most likely you. But because you were in because you had been involved with the devil, you went through the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is just horrible mental anguish. It is, and it's self-imposed. It's those sleepless nights when you sit up and worry about things you have absolutely no control over. I'll give you a perfect example. I live in the Gulf Coast, or I live in the Gulf, yeah, Gulf Coast, in the United States. We have been racked by hurricanes. At night, these hurricanes come in. They're the sounds, the howling of the wind, the whipping, you hear things being destroyed. You hear limbs cracking and falling. You can spend the entire night like this, or you can just relax and chill with your friends. They have hurricane parties. I'm not advocating going out drinking and being crazy, but I'm saying you can spend the night like this, not being able to sleep, being terrified, okay? Or you can stay up with family and friends and eat well and have fun and reminisce and use it for, good times. Because you know in the morning when it's all done, you're not going to get any sleep anyways. Why bother? Just everybody hang out and eat well because you've cooked. You had the forethought to cook, and because in the morning when you get up, you gotta have to do cleanup. Your power's probably going to be out. You're going to have to be doing things like hooking up generators and whatever. So you can live in that energy, or just be like, okay, well, we already know what's going to happen in the morning. So why bother? Why bother be in that energy? Okay, I mean, really, why bother to be in that energy? It's there's nothing you can do. If it takes the roof, it takes the roof. There's nothing you can do in the morning. You get up on the roof because you sure as hell ain't getting up on it in the middle of the night with 175-mile-an-hour winds coming at you. There's nothing you can do. You just move to another room. Get everybody to safety or whatnot. You don't worry about it. We don't stress it. I mean, we prepare, don't get me wrong. But we don't put ourselves into mental anguish. And that's where I think you are. You're putting yourself into mental anguish. If there's nothing you can do, prepare for the worst and plan for the best. Plan for what the outcome might be, and then move on. The Queen of Cups. So, I think what you're trying to manifest is the Queen of Cups, and I think you're in your head. So there's some reason, or you are the Queen of Cups. No, I think you're trying to manifest something like the Queen of Cups. Even if you're a female, it doesn't mean you're trying to. It's the energy. Somebody that's nurturing, kind, caring, loving. See the puppies and gentle. And you're ready to take that leap of faith. And again, let's see. Because no matter what, just like we do here, no matter what, it can be handled. It just can be. You can bat them away. You have the confidence. That is a knight standing on high ground. And typically that is portrayed as villagers coming in with wands, but he's a trained knight on high ground. He can just bat those things away. It's not that they're not there and that they're not annoying. It's that they're not really worth worrying about it. Don't get yourself into the Nine of Swords energy anguish over people that have no power to hurt you. They just try to make you, they try to annoy you. They harass you to death. until you make a mistake, and then you go. But you're the knight. You don't have to. And that conflict is making you the emperor. Okay? The conflict is making you the emperor. Now this, on the other hand, is external conflict. These people are getting down and dirty. They're just like, they're those people at work that are just, they're literally trying to get you fired. They want you gone for no apparent reason. I mean, you've never done anything to them. They're just that way, That's the Five of Wands. Normally when you see this, it should be a normal competition, but I'm looking at this and it's like one person's being attacked. But that one person they're attacking is the emperor, so that's not going to work out too well with them. But this is more of people jockeying for position. Okay? And I think because you are this knight, and because they're doing that, they're going to show their hands. Just take a leap of faith. You've got this. You're the emperor. So you've got a bunch of peasants trying to strike the emperor, and the emperor's like, seriously. Okay? And I think because of this is going to start a new beginning. This is a new beginning. The Ace of Pentacles is mostly like finance, earthly things, your home. I make it sound horrible, but this is, gardens, food, your house, your home, your wealth, your vehicles, things of an earthly nature, but not necessarily a bad thing. And I do think that you have a messages coming. That's the Eight of Wands. Okay. And it's coming just before the Knight of Wands, which is another card of communication. So if you're in a situation like that, I mean, it's very difficult. I've been in actually am in a situation like that where I work. And, it's a mental game. They make you get off your game to defend yourself against them. And the fact is, you don't need to. They can't do what you do. So this Knight of Cups is bringing a message. And that's the Sun. That is the happiest card in the deck. It's the happiest card in the deck. Doesn't get any better than that. I mean, that's just ultimate joy. And this is the Fool taking a leap of faith. That's the Fool taking a leap of faith. And working hard to get there. That's why. That's why he is working not just on the nets while the fish are out, while he's fishing. He's also fine-tuning the pentacles that he has on that boat. Okay? Alright, so he's become the hermit. So he is going inside. He's resting and retreating. And he's finding that North Star to follow his guiding light. And right now he feels bound. For whatever reason, he feels bound. And I think it's because there's somebody sneaky around him. That's the sneaky card. Okay, I'm going to pull another card because I don't like that sneaky card. And I don't like leaving it at feeling bound. Okay. But the Knight of Wands is coming in. And that's passion. That's movement. That is somebody that's willing to fight. Of course, all knights are willing to fight. But this is a creative knight. He's trying to... You will bust out of this. You need to rest and reflect. You don't need to be in this bound energy, which you need to be in this bound energy. What you need to be in is this hermit energy where you're resting and reflecting and you're figuring out where you are. Because sometimes when you step back, you'll be like, oh my God, I never saw that. And, well, and, and you didn't. But this part of you did. And this part's coming out. So, and the bottom of this deck is showing the Ten of Cups. And that is that little pink houses for you and me. 2.5 kids, puppies in the yard, and a white picket fence. Okay, or whatever your version of the ultimate family experience is. So, I think that you're trying to create something. I think you're keeping it to yourself, and if you are, good. I think also that Spirit has your back. And that's another reason why they can come at you and they can come at you and they can come at you and you can go, yeah, okay. And you walk away and you're building something, you're growing something, okay? So you're following the voice of your own soul. And you may be having to work a job while you're doing that. But remember, you are the lady. That's similar to the Empress card in the tarot, which is the one that nurtures. This is enjoy growth and reap rewards. You don't see it coming quite yet, but you know, within a week or so, you will see this. You will understand it, okay? So you do have things coming in for you. Whatever you're working on, continue to work on it. It may just be an idea. It may be a twinkling in the back of your mind. You know, I thought that maybe I would be good at making planners. Okay? I use that as an example because I'm good at making planters. What I'm not good at is getting wood to my yard to make planters. And that's okay too. But I mean, when I do get them there, because I bought a sports car instead of a truck. So when I do get them there, I make very good planners. And it will get better. But I'm not really trying to make a business out of that. I just wanted to do those, right? It was just an example. Okay, so you have relationship harmony. It's Archangel Raguel. We angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being healed and resolved now. Okay? So, the Spirit is working on all the, whatever the environment is that you're involved in that's fighting. There's a lot of conflict in fighting. You know, what you do is focus on yourself and move on. I mean, just whether it be a new job or just do your job and go home. Archangel Gabriel, it is time for you to it is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. Maybe by not reacting, by non-reaction, and just you know, leading by example. Maybe that will help instill that kind of camaraderie or whatever, or at least a decent working environment, because I do feel like that's coming from a work environment, you know. But gifts are coming from God. Gifts from God. It says, it's Archangel Sandalphon. We angels bring you gifts from your Creator. Open your arms to receive. So make sure you're open to receive. Because when we go through experiences like this, or we get battered like that, we tend to close ourselves off. And the thing is we can close ourselves off from the help that the universe is sending us. Okay, so, and the next one is claircognizance. And it's Archangel Uriel, and it's telling you to pay attention to the thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are unanswered prayers. That's called thinking out of the box. Because the Energizer Bunny was a young guy that just started. It was his first marketing campaign, and it was the most successful marketing campaign, or at least 15 years ago. It was the most successful marketing campaign ever, and he was 17 years old. I think 17 or 18 years old. I think. Don't quote me on that. He was very young, but it was his first It was his first thing, and he was like, well, "I'm never gonna ever be able to do any better than that. How do you top that?" Okay, and he was like, "My career's over, and it hasn't even started." See, and that's looking at it backwards, and I can see where he's coming from, but that was a gift from God. He was meant to be where he was, and does that make sense? So don't push away things and gifts. Just be aware of what's going on around you. And just because people are being negative around you doesn't mean you have to assume it. Just understand that there's negative energy around you and move on. Because you have a lot of things coming for you. And I think you're building something. You may not know it yet, but I think you're building something. I think you do. I think you're building something in your off time. And that's okay too. That's actually probably, a lot of people do that. You still have to eat. You can be a genius at anything, but you still have to eat. And I think you have gifts from God coming. So, or whatever whatever your belief system is, whatever your power system is. And it's telling you to follow the voice of your own soul. That's why I think you're really creating something. Okay, and you're going to be very abundant with it because you have the Lady card, which is tantamount to the Empress. And it's telling you, Spirit has your back. Just put one foot in front of the other and keep going, Capricorn. You've got this. I hope you liked the reading, and I hope it answered some of your questions. If you like it, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for coming to the channel, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great night.